YouTube, what is the word, man? It's your boy Los the Barber, back again with another video. And man, we got something special today. My guy, my little brother, my little cousin. We not related for real, but this my little homie, man. He came into the shop, said he want me to chop it off. So you already know I'm finna get him right. You already know I'm finna get him right, man. So I'm gonna start off by just freehanded. I'm trying to knock all that the top of his hair off, because you know it's been matted for so long. He's been getting it sponge curled and all that good stuff. So instead of going in and picking it and possibly irritating him, possibly hurting him, I'm gonna just start by going and freehanding. And the reason I could do this, because he already told me, he already expressed to me that he wants to go down to a 2 guard. He wants to get waves. So I already know in the end it's gonna be low anyway. So as long as I don't patch him, as long as I don't cut him bald, we'll be good. Then I'm gonna come in with the powerhouse, man. The Andis Corded Masters with that 2 guard all the way closed. Today I'm going to be doing something different with my video. So as you see, it's sped up right now, but as I get into that fade, it will be normal speed. So if you want to, you can grab a model, you could do the haircut with me. The reason I'm doing this is because I feel like you lose a lot of detail and a lot of information by speeding it up. So I want to make sure you guys see exactly what I'm doing. This is the easiest part of the haircut. I'm just taking that 2 guard closed and I'm just raking all that hair, knocking all that hair, getting it all down to the desired length. I'm going with the grain, not against the grain. And you guys shouldn't have any trouble at all doing this step. This is really self-explanatory. This is like the things you learn basic. It's a basic thing. It's like just an even cut as of right now until we get into this fade. So after I had the Andis Masters and I got it all down to the length, I knew it wasn't going to be short enough to begin with. He told me he wanted a 2. Usually when just starting off waves, you want to take it down to a 1, and I was trying to tell him that. And after he saw how the 2 looked, he wanted to go lower. So now I took my 1.5 all the way close, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the 2 guard with the Andis Masters. I'm just going for all that hair, and I'm just trying to get it down to a 1.5. And then we're gonna start with our bald line, and since we're doing a high taper, I'm gonna meet it the end of the vertical bar and the top of the ear. That's typically where I like to set my guidelines. Sometimes I curve it, sometimes I don't. On this specific head shape, I didn't curve it, even though I should have curved it, because when I didn't curve it, it allowed me to go further than I would like to have go on this fade, as in it behind the ear. You guys will see what I'm talking about as I continue in the video, but that's just something to note to myself as I continue to cut him and as I continue to get better. Now we're going to start with our no guard open, and we're going to set our first guideline 1/2 inch, and I want you guys to see exactly how I'm setting my guidelines. I'm making sure it's a clean canvas. As you can see, I just went over it like 3 or 4 times, 2 or 3 times. That's what you guys want to do to ensure that hair is all down to that length. And right here I have the 1 guard, and I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Go up another 1/2 inch. You guys want to start neat. That's something 360 Jeezy taught me, and it's just something I like to do. I taught myself basically, because you'll see how much it helps you in the end. Then we're gonna put that 1.5 guard on there closed, and that's gonna blend us right into the top, because we know we took it down to a 1.5 close. And usually whatever you take the top down to with the grain, it usually blends nicely into it against the grain. And on this step right here, you guys want to make sure you're utilizing your flick out motion and your light touch, because you're not trying to create another guideline. You're just trying to simply blend into that length on top. And so now we have our 1 guard closed, and we're just softening up that line between the no guard open and the 1 guard. This is something I learned from 360 Jeezy, and it's been helping my fades out a lot. Like, my fades have been coming out a whole lot cleaner. Then I'm taking my no guard fully closed, and I'm gonna just inch up at that bald trimmer line. And with this step right here, you're not trying to blend anything out at all. You're just trying to simply knock out that first guideline that you set with the trimmer. So that's something to keep in mind once using that no guard closed, because you don't want to take that fade up any higher than it already is. And then I'm gonna just play with my lever. I'm gonna open it up as needed and go up higher in that fade and detail as I see. See, right now I have my no guard fully open, and I'm just detailing as I see, using my corners. Please, guys, as you're beginning, please use the corner of your blade. It's gonna make a whole lot difference. You don't have to worry about the full blade. And when you're using the corner of the blade, it's almost like a thinning shear. You're just thinning out the hair. You're not setting any harsh lines at all. As you guys can see, I have that 1.5 back on, and I'm just trying to get the transition nice, because I don't want it to be a fade and then there be a huge weight line on the bulk from on top. So I'm gonna take that 1.5 fully closed again, and I'm gonna just flick out and hit it until it comes a nice transition. Now for the back, we're doing the same exact steps. It's just a larger canvas. So I'm gonna take my no guard open, and I'm gonna set my guidelines about 1 inch in the back, because we have a lot more room to work with, and you want that transition to be good. You want it to be a nice transition. So if you do the same thing as you did on the sides, that transition is not going to look that great because you have a smaller canvas to work with. And so right here we have the one guard open, fully open, and we're doing the same exact thing. I'm stretching my guidelines. It's another thing I got from 360 GZ. Stretch those guidelines if you want that blend to come out really nice in the back. To do so many things at once for the sake of the video, just so it's nice to follow, but right here I have my one guard fully open, and I'm just coming down and basically getting up ready for my lineup. Now we have the 1.5 here, and like I said, we're just gonna blend it to that length. We're gonna make sure it all comes together nicely. Now we close that leather, and I'm just flicking out at that hair, not trying to set a guideline here. I'm just trying to blend that hair into the top, make sure it all comes nice together, and make sure it's a good transition right there. Now we're fading down. Now I'm gonna take my one guard closed, and I'm gonna soften up that line. Like I said, it's the same thing from the side. I'm gonna soften up that line, get it ready for the no guard open. I found when I do this, sometimes I don't even have to close that no guard all the way closed and to get a nice transition. So beginners, please do this. It's gonna help you out a lot, I promise. The 0.5 on there, and we're just gonna do the same thing. Attack that line, make sure it's all a nice transition using the corner of my blade. I cannot stress that enough. Use the corners when you are fading, because it's gonna thin that hair and not set a guideline. You want to make sure once you set all your guidelines, now you want to make sure that fade stays where it's at, and you just want to make it transition. That's all you're doing when fading down. Now we got the no guard fully closed, and I'm gonna just attack that bottom line. Like I said, I'm not really trying to make a transition right here. I'm just trying to knock out that trimmer line and make sure I get it ready for it to detail, and that no guard halfway. That's where the transition and the blend is gonna come in. I'm not gonna blend anything with the no guard fully closed. Once you go through all your steps, now it's free time. This is where the separation comes in. This is how you become a better barber, is by detailing. I'm taking my no guard open, and I'll close it if needed, but I'm just gonna detail as I see fit. If there's any bulk, any dark lines that I need to get, I'm gonna just tap at it with my no guard open using the corners. And now we're getting ready for the lineup. So I took this lineup down to one guard open. It's the same thing as a 1.5 close. And then I put some mousse on his hair just so we can lay it down. Like I said, he's trying to get waves, so I'm just trying to help him out a little bit. And this is gonna make my lineup come out better as well, because the hair is gonna be laid down and not sticking up. Then I put the do-rag on him, and I'm just blow drying his hair. As I'm blow drying his hair, I'm just kind of brushing it down with my hand, just trying to get it as laid down as I can. Y'all, this man trying to act like the brush is hurting him. I been using the same brush the whole cut. Y'all see how kids be acting? But I'ma just, once I take off that do-rag, I'ma brush all the hair down again. Like I said, I'm trying to get that hair down to lay down as much as possible. And then I'm spray him with some alcohol and get the skin super dry. Then I'm gonna come in and hit him with that holding spray to lock everything in. After I hit him with the holding spray, I'm gonna blow dry it all off, make sure it's dry, and y'all gonna see how much of a difference this makes, how much crispier my lines come out. Man, once you put a lineup on a nape area, that fade comes out really, really good. But with the nape area, you want to make sure you're not slanting it in too much, but you're also not keeping it natural to the point where it doesn't look like he has a haircut, or in one day, or if he doesn't brush it, it looks like he doesn't have a haircut. So that's all I'm doing right now, is I'm kind of following the same shape, same pattern that he already had, but I'm just going in slightly just so it's crispy and just so it'll last longer, just so it outlines that fade a little bit better. And I like to exaggerate that C at the top, because it makes the fade come out better, like towards the ear part. I told you guys during the beginning of the video is that I really didn't like how it looked towards the back of the ear. I should have curved my guidelines a little bit, and I should have curved them when I was fading as well. And then once I come back in and exaggerate that C at the top, it would have just made the fade come out a lot better. But that's just something you learn as you continue cutting, that you'll see those things before you get into it. If nobody's ever told you this, whatever you set a line in with, you should be able to take it out with as well. So that's exactly what I did with those liners in the back. It was a little bit of that bald line still in there, so I just went ahead and flicked up at it. And now I'm gonna start my lineup. Next video, I'm gonna try and get a better angle for you guys, or the video after the next one, because I already recorded one. But I'm gonna get a better angle for you guys, just so how you guys can see exactly how I do my lineups. It's kind of hard to do because I'm standing directly in front of them, and I want you guys to look directly in front of them. But I'm gonna figure out a way to do it. As you guys can see, I start in the middle, and I'm just inching my way to the left, slowly. Like, I do not be exaggerating when I tell you I will spend 10-15 minutes on just the hairline, because I want that hairline to come out as crispy as possible. And you guys will see how much a difference it made, just me taking my time on that lineup. It came out very, very crispy. I'm happy the way it came out, and that line is going to outline a lot of things. So if that lineup is up, I promise you, people are not going to want to come to you. People are not going to want to come back. They're going to talk bad about you. So just make sure you're taking your time when you're doing this. You'll develop a skill as you continue to do it, and you can get faster as you go. But right now, I'm not really worried about speed, because if you're cold, people gonna wait for you. Somebody told me that, and it changed my whole perspective of how I cut hair. I just take my time now. Make sure I'm not rushing on anybody's head. Make sure I'm putting the best of my workout each and every time. And then once I hit this vertical bar, I'm gonna come right back to the middle. Guys, always start in the middle, because that's your guideline. It's gonna make sure and show you stay on a straight path, because the head is not straight. So technically you can't put a straight line on it, but you want to give the illusion that it is straight, and that's how you do it, by following your guideline in the middle. Same thing with my trimmers. I'm using the corner of the blade. You don't really need to use the full blade, and unless you're like in the middle of the head, and maybe I would say like 3/4 of the way. But once you get into that vertical bar area, you should be using the corner of your blade, just so you can ensure that it's crispy and make that 90-degree angle super sharp. But for beginner barbers, I would recommend you use just the corner of the blade. It's going to make your life a lot easier. It's going to be easier for you to just focus on one part of the blade instead of trying to look at both at the same time. Tapping that corner, trying to get it nice and sharp. Y'all let me know how that lineup came out. I think it came out amazing. Y'all see my guy, he looking happy already. And after I put that lineup in, it's gonna show you a lot more things that you didn't see when you didn't have that lineup. So I'm gonna go back in detail as I see fit. I'm gonna close that lever, open it up as I see. Y'all see, this how my guy Josiah came in. My boy is looking rough. This only 2 weeks. He come in every 2 weeks. He looking rough. You already know I had to sauce my boy. Y'all let me know how I did in the comments. I appreciate everybody for watching. I'm going to see y'all on the next one. Let's go.